Hey everybody. Hey, I just want to do a quick video on this awesome stuff I found. If you live in the South or you live even west and south, we get these crazy things in our yard, in our grass. They're little monsters, little devils, and they're called fire ants. And I've tried a lot of different things, especially around the house, for the kids. And if you're outside, you definitely don't want these things crawling up on you because they are nasty. They will get all over you, man. They'll bite the heck out of you. And again, we've tried a bunch of different things to try to kill these things. When we bought our property, it was just inundated with fire ants. So we spent the first year, last summer actually, the whole summer just killing these things. I mean, one mound after another mound, and we tried everything. Through the winter, we did do some baiting. It helped, but it's just an ongoing battle, one that you'll probably never win. But with that being said, we did find some awesome stuff that really works on killing them pretty much on contact. It soaks in the ground. What it is, and I'm gonna get down here and show you because I have them on the ground, but it's this awesome stuff right here. It's called Towel Star. We get it at our local co-op tax store, and it's expensive. It's about $80 for that jug, but it is concentrate, and it really does work. I'm telling you, we've tried it all, and it really does the trick. And so I'm gonna do a quick little killing of a couple mounds for mowing my yard today. Something I do when I mow, I keep some of these little silly little flags on my tractor. And when I'm mowing, I just mow over the mound and throw a little flag down. And that way I know where to come back to and kill these little boogers. And so that's what we're going to do. Stay tuned. All right, so I just made them mad. They're starting to come out. I don't know if you can see them. What I do is I use hot water, some empty jugs, and put a little bit of this concentrated in there, and then I fill it up. And then what I do at this point, I just take this stuff and I dump it right on the mound. Just make a little circle like this and dump it right on the mound, and it soaks right into the ground. It don't kill your grass, but it kills these little boogers. I'll use about a half a gallon. One on this size, I'll use about a half a gallon on it. It will run off on you a little depending on how your yard is. I live a little bit up on a hill, so it kind of wants to slope down. But man, these things, you see little white, those are little larvae for the ants. But this stuff just soaks right down. Like I say, I use about a half gallon for this. And it'll be gone. It'll be gone here shortly. You come back and there's no ant to be found but dead ones. But as you go on, you just go to the next one. So that's pretty much how I do that. Okay, so I'm here on to another one. I only have about 3 or 4 here right around my house, but I like to keep up on them because again, they will multiply. I mean, they just they're never ending. But like I killed this, it probably won't kill the queen. The only way to really get rid of a colony is to kill the queen. And but it keeps them at bay, and I think it kills majority, and then the queen has to rebuild her colony. So we'll see if we get these little guys out. They get real mad real quick. They get real mad real quick. So I kind of poke some holes down in there. Pour a little bit in a circle, like I said. And then you can see little white stuff, those larvae. It's just more ants. They're just trying to keep, they don't live very long. The actual fire ants themselves, they don't live that long. Like, I think they have a lifespan of like 30 days. So they're just constantly laying eggs. Constantly laying eggs. You can see, man, this thing is a monster. I mean, that's just a ton of them coming out of there, boy. And they'll get on your shoes. Man, they'll get you. Man, I'm telling you, these things are the devil. They are the worst. But I kind of, like I said, I poke holes down in there. And then I just douse this stuff on it, and it'll kill them all. But like I said, I'm not too sure about the queen, because we'll find more in a few days. There'll be another start of them. But there it is. Something about these fire ants, man, they hang out near the surface, the little army ants, the ones that come out and will get you. Man, you poke a couple holes like you seen a minute ago, and they just come out. But these things actually really don't show their face until it rains at your property. At least that's what I've discovered. You know, otherwise they just kind of stay in the ground, and they might be ground surface. But when it rains, you know, water soaks in the ground, and they dig deeper. They dig deeper. When they digging to get deeper from the rain, that's how they create the mounds. And then they put a lot of the larvae when they lay, these little army ants. The larvae is up near the top. So that's why I like to try to break that crust on the top, kind of get down in there, and then I just douse that sucker. But this has been the best way for us to kill these stupid fire ants. I do want to throw a disclaimer in here. I'm not sponsored by Talstar. You know, my channel just ain't that big enough. But I just like to try to help people out. And after trying everything under the sun, it just happens to be the best stuff. And I got to give my wife some credit. She's actually the one that found it and said we should give it a shot. And it's been money ever since. So I want to give the wife a little shout out to giving me the push to try $80 bottles of concentrate on these things. But it's money well spent, especially out in your yard. You know, pastures and stuff, it's hard to keep up with. But anyway, just want to give that little disclaimer there. All right, so there's also another option to the Talstar that I figured I would mention. The liquid's by far my favorite. Sometimes it can be hard to get. You know, we can go there and it could be out of stock, or we have found it on Amazon before, but it's getting real hard to find. I'm not sure exactly why, but your local co-op, your track store might even have it, but we get it at our local co-op. But they have it in another version, which is it's like a little seed granule. I'll show you a picture of it. Okay, so here is the granules. You just go around to each little mound, sprinkle, you know, a decent scoop amount on, and then you can go on to the next one. And especially if you know it's going to rain in the next day or so, that's really the best time to do it, because the stuff won't activate without water. So what we do is, if we know it's going to rain and we got a lot of them, or if we're going out in the pasture that we don't have horses in, then we would just go out there and put this stuff down all over them and let the rain do its magic. And that's another way to do it, and it does work. It's a little slower activating, like it doesn't kill them instantly, but it will over a day or two after it's rained. So just wanted to throw that out there.